killed more people in 24 weeks than AIDS killed in 24 years. It killed more people than both world wars combined. And it specifically targeted the strongest and healthiest people on Earth, the ones who should have survived it most easily. In the spring of 1918, the world was at war. 65 million soldiers were mobilized across Europe, living in trenches, moving constantly between camps and ships and cities, in closer proximity to more people from more places than any human population in history. The conditions for a pandemic were perfect. The first recorded cases appeared at Camp Funston in Kansas in March 1918. A cook named Albert Gitchell reported sick. By noon, 107 soldiers were sick. Within weeks, the virus had spread to the Western Front, carried by American troops crossing the Atlantic. It moved through the trenches of Europe in the spring of 1918. Then it mutated. The second wave, arriving in the autumn of 1918, was completely different from the first. More contagious, more lethal, and targeting a group that no flu had ever targeted before. Healthy young adults between 20 and 40 years old. Doctors were baffled. Every flu pandemic in history had killed the very young and the very old, the weakest members of society. This pandemic was killing the strongest. A soldier who had survived 4 years of the Western Front died of flu in days. Healthy adults were going to bed feeling well and dying before morning. We now know why. The 1918 flu triggered a cytokine storm, an extreme overreaction of the immune system that turned the body's own defenses against itself. The stronger the immune system, the more violent the overreaction. The pandemic killed between 50 and 100 million people globally, 3 to 5% of the entire human population. It killed more people in 24 weeks than the Black Death killed in a century, and almost nobody talked about it. Wartime censorship prevented newspapers in Britain, France, Germany, and the United States from reporting the scale of the pandemic because reporting that soldiers were dying of flu would damage morale. Only Spain, neutral in the war, with no censorship, freely reported the epidemic, which is why the world called it the Spanish flu. Spain did not cause it. Spain just told the truth about it. The 1918 Spanish flu ended in the spring of 1919. It did not end because of a vaccine. No vaccine existed. It ended because the virus ran out of new hosts to infect, and the survivors had developed immunity. Between 50 and 100 million people died, so that the rest of humanity could be immune. The virus did not disappear. The H1N1 influenza strain that caused the 1918 pandemic is the ancestor of every major flu pandemic since, including the 2009 swine flu. It is still with us, evolved, changed, but descended directly from what killed 50 million people in 24 weeks in 1918. We have never fully understood it. We have never fully prepared for its return.